YouTube, what is good? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a super clean haircut for you guys. We're gonna be doing a drop fade, but to make it a little easier, we're gonna start off by trimming the top. So as you can see, I'm dampening my client's hair, making sure that it's evenly saturated. Because when the hair is damp, it is a lot easier to create sections and work with. Now after we go ahead and dampen the hair, what we're gonna do is create a section on his right side. So as you can see, I'm using the part of the comb that kind of splits or parts. And now we're gonna go to the other side, and there's my left section, there's my middle section, and there is my right section. So now I'm gonna pull up that middle section, and this will act as my guideline for the rest of the haircut. And we're gonna be taking off about a ½ inch, going straight back. But as you guys will notice, my fingers towards the front of the head, I'm making sure to come straight off. I don't want to dip down towards the forehead, because naturally that hair tends to be shorter, just because the head curves downward. So I want to make sure that I keep the fringe slightly longer than the back, because he likes to wear his hair up in the front. So now we're just continuing that straight back, making sure I grab nice clean sections. And now after we complete our middle section, what we're going to do is comb that all over towards his right. And we're going to use that middle section as our guideline for the rest. So now we're starting in the back, and you'll see I'm grabbing little horizontal sections. And I'm pulling up and cutting everything to the length towards the inside of my finger. Now we're going to start moving forward. And I don't want to make these sections too wide. I want them to be nice and clean, because if you grab too big of a section, what you could do is over direct the hair back, and all it's going to do is create unevenness, because some hairs are going to be longer than the others. But little by little, step by step, we're working our way towards the front and getting a nice even trim. I believe after this section we have one more, which is the very front of the fringe. But as you can see, this is a super simple and easy way to make sure you get a nice even cut on top. So now right here, this is our last section. So I'm making sure to pull up and cut everything straight across. And now we're going to reestablish that middle section, and we're going to comb it over towards his left. And we're going to do the same exact thing. Use that middle section as our guideline. So we grabbed it horizontally. Now we're going to pull it up nice and neat and cut everything to that desired length. And now to make sure that the front fringe is nice and even, I'm going to come from the front and just pick the hair up and make sure that all the hairs are the same length and not one be longer than the other. Same towards the left side of his parietal ridge. This is the side where it kind of is supposed to connect. We don't want any parts, so I'm making sure this blends into the side very nicely. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and begin to dry the hair. Now this isn't gonna be a finished style. I just want to make sure we have it dry enough to go ahead and get into the fade. But you'll see I'm kind of having no nozzle on my blow dryer and just working in this crown, letting it lay how it naturally would. And then in the front, my client likes kind of a textured, messy volume, so that's what I'm doing here. And now after we get the hair completely dried, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Stylecraft Rebels with the 2-guard lever open, and we're gonna begin to debulk. Now this is gonna be a drop fade, so you'll see when I am debulking, I'm establishing that drop effect that leaves it a little longer in the back. Now if you guys like these clippers, this version of the Rebels will be dropping very soon on Stylecraft's website. So what you could do, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a gift. Go ahead and tap the Stylecraft link in my bio and use code Drake Clipper Hands at checkout to pre-order these clippers. And yeah, get yourself a little discount. These are definitely fire. I like the red colorway. But now I'm going to show you how I work with these. And the reason I want to go ahead and debulk before beginning my fade is because it's going to give us a cleaner canvas to work with, as opposed to cutting through all that bulk and risking the chance of taking the fade too high or keeping it way too low. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and establish our bald line, but I'm gonna do it with my clipper closed. And you'll notice I'm starting in the back of the head, and that's because with drop fades, what a lot of barbers struggle with is making sure that it drops low enough, as well as making sure that both sides drop evenly and not one side be higher than the other. So what I found is establishing how low I want the drop in the back to go makes it a lot easier to make this guideline completely symmetrical across. And coming in close as opposed to coming in with the trimmer also makes it a little easier to get rid of that first initial bald line as well. But we're starting off this line at the end of the eyebrow, sloping it around the ear and connecting it with where we established that bald line in the back. But if you're enjoying this video so far and you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and tap the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I will continue to drop more content. Now we're going to grab our Rebel trimmers, and we're just going to shave down the bottom and get it ready for our shaver. Now these trimmers are right out of the box. I did not adjust them. And as you can see, they are hitting, mowing right through the hair, getting it nice and close. And this is a cool tip for any barber that is a content creator. Having clippers that pop in the camera can give your video an advantage, right? Because it's just going to give contrast to whatever the background is, and it really pops in the videos. Now we're going to follow it up with the shaver just to get it nice and close to the skin. And you'll see I'm not taking the shaver up to the bald line. I'm staying a little below it because I don't want to create a job for myself, right? I want it to blend into what we've already done. And now to begin our fade, we're going to come in with the lever all the way open. And my goal here is to make this guideline wide enough to go ahead and give ourselves, enough room to make this blend consistent and gradual. I know a lot of people like those tight condensed fades, but me personally, I like when the blend is a little more stretched out and gradual. So I did the lever all the way open, and now right above that, I'm going to come in with my one open, going up a finger's width again. And the only reason I say fingers width is because a lot of people, believe it or not, do not know measurements. So I could say about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. But a finger's width, all that means is put your finger there and make the guideline the width of your pointer finger. Now we have our 2 guard open, right above that 1 guard open. And this will be the biggest guard that we are going to use. So I'm coming in and flicking off the shape of his head. And my goal here is to not, cut off too much bulk towards the top, because it's what's really going to give us that drop effect. And now we're going to start blending down. So I have my 1.5 open, and I'll see if it takes off the line. If not, I'll go halfway, and if that doesn't get rid of it, I'll close it all the way. Right? And I always like to start by getting rid of lines with the lever open, because what that does is just ensure that you don't take the fade any higher than you desire to. Because you can always take more hair off, but if you take it off, you for sure can't put it back on. So you want to make sure that you give yourself that safety net. Same thing with the half guard. Started off open and we're closing it little by little. Now you guys noticed at the beginning of this video the back of his hair was very long. That's because we tried out the mohawk look, and it looked good when it was done, right? But his hair on top really likes to stand up and have nice texture, but the back was just really heavy. It kept falling. So we tried it didn't work, and we went back to his normal. My client really loves the drop fade, so that's what we're doing here, is going ahead and getting them right. And now we're just working at that last line. So I'm coming in closed, and little by little, as I move up, I'll open up that lever until that line is completely blended out. And let me know down in the comments if you guys are enjoying this POV view, point of view from my perspective. You guys kind of get to see what I see when I'm cutting. So I believe it's a little more applicable. It shows you exactly how to deal with it. So let me know down in the comments if you enjoy. Now I'm using my trimmer, the corner of my trimmer, to break up any dark spots. That blend is looking super nice. And now before we blend into the bulk on the sides, I want to go ahead and outline the arch. So I'm starting at the top and then going to the bottom and meeting those 2 points in the middle. And that is a nice clean arch. And now to really transition into the sides, I'm going to come in with some clipper over comb. And with the comb, you want to make sure you come in and flare out slightly, or scoop off the hair slightly. Because again, we want to maintain the weight at the top. And if you just keep it flat against the head and go against it with the clipper, you risk the chance of patching them or taking up the fade higher than you desired. And this isn't going to be perfect, so you'll see me come back with my thinning shears here in a few moments as well. And this step right here really softens everything up, doesn't make it look as choppy. So same idea, I'm coming in with my comb, and as I flare out any hair sticking out, I'll go ahead and attack with my thinning shears. And so far this blend is looking super clean. And again, you always want to get through your steps as efficiently as possible and then save any major detailing work for the end. And now we're going to go to the other side and apply those same exact steps. Lever open, then the 1 open, then the 2 open, and blend down from there. But if you guys are enjoying this tutorial and feel like it's adding value and helping you in some way, shape, or form, well, I have good news. I have an online course called Dre Clipper Hands Academy, where I go way more in depth in the exact techniques that I use to cut hair and get clean fades consistently. Right? You'll get direct access to me, as well as a community of barbers who are hungry and motivated as well. So again, if you want to join Dre Clipper Hands Academy, the link is in the bio. There will be more information there. I'm explaining all the course entails. But I hope to see you in the course. Definitely worth it. Definitely get a bang for your buck. And I will be excited to continue that journey of growth with you as well. So go ahead and tap the link in my bio. And I hope to see you in Dre Clipper Hands Academy. So now we're just working with that 1.5, and this blend is already coming together, right? When you're in the process of a haircut, you'll see context clues, basically that can give you confidence, because they're letting you know that you're doing the right thing at the right time to get the right haircut result. And I'm working with this half guard, and I'm looking at the blend, and at this point I'm feeling pretty confident with how this is going to come out. So now to get rid of the last line, I'm going to come in close and open up that lever as we move up. And this side I found a little easier to go ahead and blend, because like I always say, everybody's hair is different. Each side of their hair texture is different, and some sides are easier to cut than others, and this left side was definitely that case. So now we're just working, utilizing the corner of that blade, which is very important in the detailing process. And now what we're going to do is comb down his arch to go ahead and get ready for the lineup. So as you can see, that was all overhang, so I'm starting at the top of the arch, and then I'll go to the bottom and meet it in the middle. And that round arch with the round fade just complement each other so well, especially when you keep the edges dark. That thing is popping. And the Rebel trimmers as well come with the Rebel clippers. So if you guys are looking for that, remember J Clipper Hands Academy at checkout, stylecraft.com. Now we're using the corner of the blade to go ahead and detail. And that thing is looking fire even before we blend into the bulk. But you know we can't leave that harsh line, so we're going to come in with the comb and do some clipper over comb to finish off this blend. And now after we complete the transition into the top, you know we got to use a straight razor. Even if it is in the smallest area of the haircut, I still like to use it. It just gives that extra feeling of fresh and really makes that arch stand out. Because like always, man, haircuts are in the details. This is really what separates you from everybody else, because you don't take shortcuts. But this is the cut. We got my man together with a nice drop fade. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And again, if you're interested in enrolling in J Clipper Hands Academy, watch this video. So what they don't tell you about becoming a successful barber is you shouldn't start off by charging $100 a haircut, and you're not going to make this absurd amount of money without first getting clients in your chair. So what I've done is put together all the information that I've learned in my 9 years of being a barber into one place where I teach you about the different forms of marketing that best suit barbering to get clients in your chair. So that way you don't have to filter through tons of content to find exactly what you need, as well as in-depth tutorials where I give you tips, tricks, and techniques to take your hair cutting skills to a whole nother level. So if that is something you're interested in, go ahead and join me at J Clipper Hands Academy. I hope to see you there.